G'day guys, Troy here from FM Scout, and today we're going to continue on and look at another obscure role within Football Manager 2017, and today we'll be looking at the Libero. If you'd like to keep up to date with the series, I'll put a link in the description for the inverted wingback and also the halfback duties that we did a video on about 2-3 weeks ago. But as always guys, I'd just like to invite you all over to my personal channel, FM Live. On the channel I have a Charlton Let's Play series and also some tips and tricks videos. Go over there, check them out. If you like what you see, please subscribe. So first off, for the role, let's have a look at the description. The Libero drops behind the defensive line, aiming to sweep up through balls, pick up extra attackers and make goal-saving tackles, blocks and interceptions. His exceptional athleticism and reading of the game enable him to cover for defensive errors, take possession of loose balls from a deep position and secure possession. However, he will also roam forward in support of the midfield when the team has possession. So with the Libero, you have two different duties you can choose. You've got the attack and support. So with the attack duty, the Libero ventures much higher up the pitch to provide a goal-scoring threat from distance alongside looking to play in his teammates. For support duty, it's pretty similar. With a support duty, the Libero will step into the midfield with possession, when in possession, is secured, and look to play through balls to attacking teammates. So from support to attack, he'll look to just play. On attack, he'll just look for the shot, as well as looking for the pass. Okay, moving on to the important attributes, and there is a fair few to get through. The Libero is similar to, or for me anyway, similar to the complete forward. He's a complete centre-back. He gets forward when needed, and also he gets back, and he needs to do a lot. He needs to fit a lot of roles, similar to the halfback, but with a bit more of that defensive duty that is set. So let's get into the attributes. So for the technical, we have dribbling, heading, long shots, marking, passing, and tackling. Moving over to mental, and pretty much every attribute there is ticked. So you've got anticipation, bravery, composure, concentration, decisions, determination, flair, positioning, teamwork, and vision. Finally, moving on to the physical attributes, and once again, pretty much everything is ticked. So acceleration, agility, balance, jumping reach, pace, stamina, and strength. So for the important attributes in between the attack and support duties, they're exactly the same. So nothing really changes. The only thing maybe would be long shots, but that is still ticked for the support role as well. So now we have the play instructions for the Libero, and I've got this on attack duty at the moment, and I'll put it over the support because there is a couple of changes there. For the closing down, they're on sometimes with the slider a little bit closer towards less, but once again, that changes in your mentality. So if you change your mentality, that slider will increase or decrease. He hasn't got mark tighter, he hasn't got tackle harder. He gets further forward, and he doesn't hold position in the freedom of movement. When the player has the ball, he's going to pass it shorter. For dribbling, there's nothing ticked. Shooting, he will shoot more often, and he will make more riskier passes. Okay, so now let's have a look at the Libero in the support role. Before we do this, I just want you to have a look at the shorter passing down here and see what actually happens to the slider, because it changes just a little bit. So in the description, it does say on the support role, he'll be looking more for the pass. He might get in deeper passes or maybe longer passes. So there we go. What happened there was the shoot more often has been taken off. He won't get further forward, so it looks like he's going to play a little bit further back, and also before you couldn't choose hold position, but now you can. So it depends on if you want him to play in that middle bit in between your two centre backs. So you hold position a little bit more, so you can choose to put that on. Okay, so now it's time for my suggestion, and what I do suggest is to put it over the attack role. I don't think you really need to change any of this. If you've got a player that's a very good dribbler, maybe you want him to dribble a little bit more and dribble through the middle. But other than that, I don't think you do need to change really anything. He does play, when you're in defense, he does play as a sweeper, and it's pretty much the same role as a sweeper, except for in the sweeper, that sweeper will never get forward. So he'll just stay in behind the two central defenders. So you can leave that as sometimes you might want to put that on more. So if he's going to be more aggressive, a more aggressive sweeper, and then also I'd pair that up with tackle hard. But to be honest, I probably wouldn't change anything. Okay, so now let's have a look at the Libero and what happens in both defense and attack. So in defense, the shape is just like this, which it should be. In attack or in the build-up phase, what happens is your two central defenders will move out to the wings. Your Libero will push forward and actually push in forward probably around this area. Your wing backs will push up forward, right up the wing actually, they push up fairly high. So it's great in the build-up phase. You have another player in the middle of the park. The wing backs have kind of a license to get right up on the field. You will have to watch out for counterattacks if they have got one central defender that is sitting in between your two centre backs, because the Libero will push past him, and he'll push quite quickly when they're building up the play. As soon as the opposition team get the ball, they will revert right back to where they started. So you'll get Blend or the Libero come right back to there, and everything will go back to normal. But it depends on the pace of the player, so that's why you need good pace. Blend is probably not the best player, but to be honest, not too many to choose from in any team, but he was the best of the bunch. So you need a bit of pace, and you need a bit of just a bit of awareness to know when to push up and when to push back. Okay, some in-game footage here for you with Blin in the middle there, and you can see he split the two central defenders. I had Twinzabi and Williams. I was playing against the young boys, so I played a rotated side. But you can see how far those two are spread, and you can see where my wingbacks are. So they've pushed up all the way up to in their half, acting like wingers really. So Blin is in the middle here, and you'll see how he pushes forward when we're on the attack. So Pogba pushes up, pushes the ball over to Shaw, and then Blin is still getting forward and actually getting past one of the centre mids. So what he will do is normally go out to about this circle here, and that's pretty much as far as he'll go. He'll know when to come back, and he'll know when to drop back. He's still got a lot of players in the centre of the mid there, and he's acting and he's giving an option to pass back if needed. The formation or the tactic you can choose for the two central midfielders is really up to you. If they push too far forward, it really left a big hole in the middle there. And if you have that someone in the defensive midfielder role, there's probably no use for a Libero, to be honest, because they kind of occupy the same space. So yeah, not really recommending putting a defensive midfielder. I think you should have three in the back, or maybe three in the middle of the park, or maybe two. But yeah, the role's not quite worked out yet, to be honest. But yeah, as you go forward, as you can see, he just gets back, and he's waiting for when they get the ball to rush back. But he'll just stay in his position. He'll be an option to pass if needed. At the moment, he's not. But there's a lot of triangles kind of working out in this formation anyway. Okay, so here's an example of when they're in defense, and there's a pretty flat line there for the centre-backs and the full-backs. You got Blin in the middle, and then you got the two central defenders. So when we fast forward here, you can see you can be a little bit more aggressive with your centre defender because you've got that sweeper there ready to go, or the Libero. So Twinzabi actually rushes forward to get the ball back, but unfortunately doesn't get the ball, but it leaves number 33 that's open. But Blin is there, thankfully, sweeps it up, and then they push it out. Nothing comes of that, but yeah, that's kind of how they act. They act like a sweeper when you're in defense, and then in the attack, you're acting more like a defensive midfielder. Okay, just another look at the Libero duty when he's in defense. So as you can see, Blin is here. We've got the two central defenders. This guy here, number 43, is just about to put a ball over the top to the number 33. But we have Blin there, and he's keeping him onside. I don't recommend really playing the offside trap unless the Libero has got good pace and good decisions as well to know when to push forward and to push him offside. Yeah, it just needs a lot of pace and a lot in the decision attribute wise. So if you have a look, the ball comes over, which is okay because we've got Blin there. He pushes back, and he realizes that the number 28, Twinzabi, is not going to get there. So he rushes over to pick him up and put some pressure and actually getting the tackle in. Okay, last little highlight here, and we'll just show what happens in the build-up phase and what happens to Blin and how he reacts. We've got the two central defenders once again pushed out with Blin right in the middle. Pogba has the ball, he's just about to play in Rooney. So he puts the ball into Rooney, and you'll see Blin just trying to get forward. Schweinsteiger, he's a big fella. He got caught there, but he'll get past him, and he'll go all the way past. He'll pass Pogba right there. When it fast forwards a little bit, he'll just stay in that pocket. Fast forward just a little bit, and you can see the diamonds with this formation anyway. You can see the diamonds or the triangles they're making there. So there's a lot of opportunities to pass, and he's just one extra one, even out to here. So we've got a lot of triangles hooking up, so a lot of passing options. So if you do get a good tactic together with some good players, you can really make the Libero work and work for you. Okay, so for the role Libero, there's not too many plays in-game, and there's not too many plays in real life, because you don't really see that role played all too often in the modern game. But this one guy, Leonardo Bonucci, he's very good. He's got some very good passing. He's got very good mentals. His physicals probably, could be increased a little bit, but look, he's 29, so they're just going to decrease, to be honest. But yeah, very good player, and he can do that Libero well. That Libero role quite well. Alright guys, I'll leave it there, but before I go, I just want to bring your attention to the FM Scout website, and we have actually a Libero article on the website, so go over there, check that out. It's a little bit more in-depth because you can write it down, you got a little bit more time. Take the time out, read it, because it was a great read. Just before I made this video, I read there, and it goes in a little bit more in-depth, and also goes into the history of the role as well. Well, that's it from me, and if there's an obscure role you want to see coming up next, leave it in the comments below, and we'll be sure to get it on the channel for next week. Alright guys, I'll see you next time.